Hey everybody, what's up? It's Devin, LaVore, and
Michelle LaVore
coming at you once more.
Yes.
I mean, it was a crazy amount of videos I put out yesterday, right?
Yeah, it was.
But God was just moving. He was just like, you do this, Michelle, she need to rest, okay? You know, like cook breakfast, she need to rest. And so that was really fun because the Lord was just ministering to me. Oh my God, and I gotta say something about those videos real quick, okay? So one of our friends, Daphne, she sent me this email. She was like, Devin, look at what Lorelei Cooley said on May 12th. It was insane because yesterday, you know, I put out the Cinderella video, and then late at night, late in the midnight hour, I was literally taking a shower. Michelle was like, no, just go ahead, go take a power shower. And that's literally what happened. And because I was like, wait, what did you say? She was like, go take a power shower, you know, just because she knows when I'm in the shower, I meet with the Lord, right? And he was like, and I came out with this word from the Lord, like, whoa, like he's about to change everything.
Yeah.
And it was so funny because on May 12th, Daphne sent us that email that on May 12th, Lorelei Cooley said that many of you are getting ready to have an overnight Cinderella story that will change everything. And I about lost it. If I was a Lego, all my pieces just came apart. I was just like, wow, the Cinderella was in there. The everything's gonna change was in there. And I was like, dang, this was from 3 months ago. Yeah. And I'm just like, wow, that must be really on God's heart. You know, it's like he's really serious about like this is getting ready to happen. And I'm like, I don't care that it was 3 months ago that she said it. Yeah. In God time, that doesn't mean anything. Yeah. He's speaking it. God said to Noah, listen to me, everyone who's concerned about time frame and when, God, listen. God said to Noah, Noah, I need you to build me an ark because I'm about to flood the earth. When did he do that? 120 years later. Yeah. Well, that wasn't right. God was wrong. He said he was about to, and it don't matter. If God says this is what I'm about to do, you better hold on because this is what he's about to do. Yeah. You know? Mm-hmm. So it was just amazing because I just kept getting, I'm like, gosh, Lord, we've released 3 videos. I was like, we've already released 2 videos. You want me to do, maybe I'll just save this one for tomorrow morning. I'll record it tonight and then I'll release it. And I was release it now, Devin, right now. And I was like, all right, okay. And then it was like 101 when I was I mean, you can watch the video. I wasn't looking at the clock or anything like that, but just at that, literally, you only have 60 seconds for it to be 101. Yeah. And just at that moment, it was almost like the Lord was like, hey, look at that. It's like, oh, it's 101. No way. So God's been speaking the 101s a lot lately. And go ahead.
Once again, for those of you who maybe haven't seen the video we did about 101, we just really feel like 101 is speaking to basically being in the next level, like going from high school to college, like you're starting something new. And God has been doing that. I mean, since we got those, it's been about a week since we got the 101.
Well, and he spoke it first to our 5-year-old Elia in a vision. Yeah. So it's not like, oh, Devin and Michelle, you're doing those numbers things again, blah, blah, blah. You need to be biblical. Whatever. God gave a vision to my 5-year-old. Yeah. That had a 101 in it. Yeah. You know? Yeah. It's like, oh, okay, what's that about? And it's been 101, 101 since then.
Yeah, and it really is just speaking to also the unknown, that God is taking us into the next level, something new that we've not experienced before. Yeah. And so when you're in a place that's new and
it
different,
is happening, let me tell you,
and unknown, you can't do what you've always done because you don't know what you're doing. And so it's just this next level, really, of listening to the Lord, leaning on him, and just seeing what he's saying. And there has been so many things this week alone in the last week that God has done.
It's just like, what?
Yeah. And there's just been so many things that it's like,
crazy.
Wow, Lord, you are just doing something new. You really are taking our whole family to this new level, and really we're seeing even more, I think, of where God is just opening our eyes to just how involved and the details of our life he really is. And
it's amazing.
Yeah.
All of the stuff that's been going on just between the time that God gave him the vision until now. Because you guys know how it was. Michelle felt like this room that we're in right now, this is the room we're going to be at the end, the room at the end. But then I felt like, I think we're going to move. I think we're going to leave. And we did. We left for like 24 hours and then we came back. But when we went to our old stomping ground, Baymont Inn, we were in room 101. And it was like, wow. And God just started pouring out stuff on Michelle. That was like Michelle time during that time, because God was just dumping on her. And some of you even noticed it. I know quite a few people noticed it and commented, and they're like, dang, look at Michelle. She really stepping up. I'm like, ain't she? Come on, that's mine right there. That's mine right there. Anyway. But, no, you're the Lord's and mine. Thank you. Anyway, but it's just been awesome. And then so it seemed like the last couple days, it's like God's like, okay, let's focus on Devin a little bit. Let's knead some of that dough. Yeah. Let's get some stuff in the heart, or get some stuff out of the heart, get some stuff in. If God's trying to get something out, he's only trying to make room for something he's trying to put in. Mm-hmm. So man, just let go. Yeah. Don't hang on to nothing. But it's my promise. I gotta have my promise. Well, God's the one who gave you the promise.
Yes.
So let go of it. Mm-hmm. If God's saying, hey, well, hand me that for a second. Because, see, that's what God will do. He'll say, hand me that. Step 1. Mm-hmm. And you can be in step 1 for 7 years.
Yeah.
Seriously. Until you just hand me that. You can be there for 7 minutes or 7 years. It's up to you. We have our daughter right now who's like, she's the 7-year girl. It's like, I want, But it's like, if God's trying to take something out, he's trying to put something in. And I'm just letting go, He started that with me. Mm-hmm. A while ago, probably at the beginning of the week.
Yeah.
Or just when we had that chaos God time.
Yeah, that was chaotic. On Sunday.
Yeah, and then later that night it turned in awesome. It was like a picture of the reversing of God. And it was just so awesome.
Well, and like you were saying yesterday, though, it's like sometimes God has you give something up before he puts something in your hands. Mm-hmm. And other times he's actually he's filling you up, and you actually just have to put that thing down.
And that's exactly what happened, right?
Because it's like there's just so much that God's giving you. It's like, I don't have room for all this, but it's amazing. I want more. Okay, well, sorry, I'm going to let you go. All right, Lord, what else do you have for me? And so there's different times when it comes to the letting go of how things happen. Mm-hmm. I know we've both experienced where it's like, God's like, okay, you just need to put that down. And then it's like, okay, you put it down and maybe there's nothing yet, but God is getting ready to give you something. But what you were experiencing was more of like, God's like,
been experiencing.
Here you go, here you go, here you go, here you go. And you're like, I don't have enough hands and room, so I'm going to put that down. Okay, Lord, what else do you have for me? And he's like, I'm just filling you up. So
yeah, seriously, this whole week, I know it's only Thursday, but for the last 3 or 4 days, I seriously have not thought about our dream house and promises fulfilled, all that stuff. There is a measure of it that, promise, God's got that. And it's almost like God's saying, like, see, look at the fruit in your life. Mm-hmm. Look at that. You don't even care, because it's like, because I've already got it. You don't have to be like, okay, this is my wubby. I got to take care of it myself. I can't.
I don't think that really has been, for you, I think this week has just been God has been showing you from the time we had the God time of just like, you can let God just be God.
I did it this morning during God time.
Yeah, just listening. Because it's like, I want to step in, and God's like, don't step in. And
nope.
And really, it was just like, everything took care of itself.
It did.
And it's like,
because I'm trying to be like Atlas. And I'm trying to carry the world, the weight of the world of my family on my shoulders. And I think a lot of fathers, good fathers who want to provide and all that stuff, that's what they feel. You feel the weight of like the responsibility, and you're trying to do the best you can, and you're, oh, Jesus, help me. And you're measuring yourself by your failures, not by your successes. Yeah. Not by what if anything fails, if anything messes up, it's your fault.
Yeah.
And God just like, he's been showing me, you can let go, man. Well, and I'm like, no, I can't.
Yeah.
I can't. That's not possible. I have to be praying and contending, and you can do a lot of spiritual things. It's just like, okay, I hear what you're saying there, but why don't me and you just go over here to this part of our life and just have fun and talk or whatever? And I was like, no, I got a family I got to take care of. You know?
Yeah.
It's like, bro, that's my family.
Yeah.
You're my family. They're my family. I have to take care of them.
Yeah.
Not you. I mean, in context, you know what I'm saying? And
and
God's going to put you in a position.
I think we can kind of share what happened this morning, because I think it will give a good picture. Basically, this morning during worship time, like myself and all the kids, everybody else, apart from Devin, during worship time, there really was just this blanket of heaviness that came over all of us, and we were listening to the worship music, but you could
during worship of all times,
you could just see it, and Devin was just like
well, I wanted to get into that mode of like, okay, I want to fix this.
I'm gonna do something here.
I was like, I don't
and you prayed, and God was just like, hey, let's just you and God have your time.
Yeah.
And they did. They were just kind of over at the window and all that, and we were all here.
They were all there looking like this, looking like,
and I could,
the God of miracles.
And I knew,
I'm just like, you guys are doing Eeyore worship.
Really.
What's going on here?
Yeah, and it was just kind of this like, I don't know, nothing's going on. We're just here, and it was. I kind of knew what was going on, but it was almost like you
didn't have the motivation to get up.
Had the motivation.
It's almost like I'm really hungry, but that means I got to get up and go to the kitchen.
Yeah, basically.
Kind of that vibe,
very
right?
much so. But so we just kind of continued, and there was this, but then, I don't even know how we started praying, but we had the worship music on, but we're like, okay, let's get into prayer. And so, we were praying, but the prayers were just really short, and then we got to our son, and he was just basically having a meltdown because he was
let's not get into the details of all that.
But anyway,
just know there was a meltdown situation.
There was a meltdown situation.
Oh my gosh,
but then
really?
But it was so interesting because for me, I was just like, okay, no, I'm just done with just this sort of thing that
time to get up.
Yeah, it was time to get up.
And you literally got up.
But I thought it was interesting because it was like, I was willing to get up for somebody else. But for myself, it was really difficult.
Jesus.
And honestly, in the process of helping our son, I ended up switching the roles. Okay, now what is it like? What if I was the one that's in your place? What would you do? Well, I would help. I would do this. And I feel like for that, it kind of also helped break something for him of like, well, I'm going to fight for you. Oh, you're fighting for me in that same way. And so it was
God.
Yeah.
Is fighting. Yeah. Okay.
Gotcha. And so it was just kind of like, okay, let's have this thing broken. And then as I was when it was my turn to pray, we were able to go through everything. Everybody, prayed and everything, and it was my turn to pray. And again, it was just like, man, there was that spirit of heaviness. And so it was just like, all right, Lord, let's get rid of this spirit of heaviness. And so then we were just praising the Lord, and you could just tell it broke. And so I think it was a great example though, because for you, it was like you wanted to just step in, but I felt like it was like God was showing you once again, hey, I am taking care of this.
Yeah. You
don't have to be the one that is trying to carry this weight. Because first of all, it's like, who told you to carry that weight? It's that idea of like, who said that? That has to be your yoke and your burden. And I feel like there's been a lot of examples of that this week for both of us.
Yeah.
Of like, why are you carrying that weight? Because Jesus himself says, my yoke is easy and my burden is light.
Yeah.
And there are so many times I think we end up putting things on ourselves. And it's like, yes, as a parent, we do have a responsibility over our children. But at the same time, it's God
who can't control the outcome.
Yeah.
You can't. And that's what I'm saying. Like when I was just praying by myself, you're in the best place.
Yes.
It's like you're in the best place of responsibility right now, with me, being with me, listening to me.
Yes.
Flowing with me. When you get into yourself, you're going to get into performance, and that comes with anxiety.
Yes.
And it's like, and fear and anger and frustration, or it's like, you don't need to do all that. You know, just be with me, follow me.
And I think that's really the key that we've been seeing again, is just, you have to just listen to God. You know, if God had said this morning, hey, Devin, I do want you to step in, well, then that would be the right thing to do at that moment.
Right.
But if he's saying, no, I got this, it's like, okay, I'm not going to step in. I'm going to allow God to, you know, work with me and work with my family.
Well, and there was a couple of moments there where I did step in, and God was like, excuse me, this is the Michelle show, not the Devin show. You need to just sit back and chill out, pause.
Yeah.
And I was just like, oh, okay, yeah, I better do that.
Yeah.
And sure enough, she handled the situation way better than I was going to.
Yeah.
Because I was going to get harsh. Because I was like, I'm tired of this mess. We need to do this. And God's like, isn't it good when I take over and I'm orchestrating?
Yeah.
I'm conducting the orchestra, you know?
Yeah.
Now, speaking of transformation, because that's what's been going on this week, and that's kind of like what we're discussing, is transformation and the results of that, and how that prophetic word that you got about transformation when we were in the Baymont Inn in 101, how that's been playing out. It's been really awesome. Because it was really cool for me, honestly, because I would have normally had a very frustrated morning this morning, but I just let it go. And I wasn't frustrated at all. I mean, there was still a sense of frustration, but it's like just letting it go is what the answer was.
Yeah.
You know, but it's like, let's just change the channel real quick.
Yeah.
Boop, 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 boop. Anyway. So I was at Costco. Mm-hmm. Was this yesterday?
Yes.
This was yesterday. Okay. And I saw these costumes that I knew the kids would love. You know, and a lot of times, honestly, being in this situation that we're in, it's God-breathed, it's God-led, all of that stuff, but it still can be distressing and difficult, particularly for the kids.
Yeah.
You know? And so a lot of times we like to do fun, like you've seen us, like we go to Family Fun Center every once in a while. I think we've been there like twice or something. But in 8 months, okay? And it's like, just stuff like that doesn't come along that much because of money issues, right? You know, God started dealing with us about the money issue a while ago.
Yeah.
About, like, don't say you don't have enough or you're not, you know, that kind of thing. That was a whole nother different season, I guess you can say. But I was at Costco yesterday and I saw these costumes, these really cool costumes that the kids would, I know they would love them. But I was just like, oh man, I really want to get these for them. That would be so cool. And then we went to that was a different time. And then so we went to Costco again yesterday. I took my daughter with me, and I was like, yeah, see, look at these cool costumes and all that. And I just felt like the Lord was like, get them. And I was like, oh. I was like, I was like, well, Lord, the money and all that, you know, thinking about the money. You know, and just the Lord was like, he was just on me. He was like, get him. And he was like, you know what your problem is right now? You are thinking about right now, in this moment, what's in your bank account right now. And you're making future decisions on what's happening right now. Well, if you're going to be logical and spiritual at the same time, you need to make future decisions based on future knowledge. That's called faith. Mm-hmm. You know? And it's like, you're not looking into the future to see the provision that you know I'm going to already have there, you know? And I'm just like, okay, but that's cool, but I'm trying to be wise and da-da-da-da-da. And it's just like, no, you're not. You're just being afraid. And it's like, get them, you know? And I'm just like, okay. So I didn't argue. I was just like, it was just kind of like Moses, you know, being called to deliver Egypt. But Lord, you know, of course, that still got him a little angry, didn't it?
Yeah.
But and so I ended up putting those things in the basket. And I was like, okay, whatever. You know, I could have gotten afraid and anxious for a second, but I was like, there's just no need for that. You know.
Yeah. We've
been here 8 months, almost 8 months to the day, almost in 2 days it will be, and God has taken care of us this whole time. And I'm just like, all right. And that's what he was trying to get me to see. Like, stop thinking like that. Stop thinking like, oh, how much money do I have? And how much? If I say to do something, do it.
Yeah.
That's what the whole point was. It's like, yeah, I've already got a provision for you in the future for different things. And it's like, you got to understand that's part of this 101 that I'm teaching you. Is like, you have got to live by my word. Like, if I say do something, then you got to do it.
Yeah.
You can't say, well, Lord, look at this and this and that and this situation. No, if God's saying do it, then do it, because why? I will be with you.
Yeah.
In the doing it. And it's just like, okay, I'll do that. And so, so we got the costumes for the kids, and the kids loved them. It was awesome. It was everything that we wanted it to be for them. They went outside and they played, and it was just so fun. It was just something different instead of the same, because a lot of times it's the same old mundane thing, because that's what wilderness lifestyle is like.
Yeah.
That's what living in the ark was like for Noah, for real. There was no different scenery. Yeah. It was the same old wooden gopher wood, stanky animals, you know what I'm saying? It's just the same life. So coming out of the ark was probably just, wow, a literal breath of fresh air.
Yeah.
But so we look for opportunities like that, right? Well, when I get up to Costco, when I get up to the cashier, my stuff rings up. We got some food items, and my stuff rings up for $101.60. I looked at that. I was like, oh my gosh. I was like, Annalise, look at this.
Yeah, it's a 101.
It's 101. She was like, oh, it's 101. No way. But it was $101.60. And so I'm like, wow, that just seems... Now see, this is how I'm sharing my process. To me, the whole thing seems significant. Mm-hmm. The whole number seems significant. Not necessarily like... I don't know how to explain it. It just seems significant to me. I was like, wow, that's crazy. And God was just saying, see, I got you in a whole different class, man.
Yeah.
101, bro. And it's like, and if I hadn't have bought it, it wouldn't have had that 101 result or whatever. It didn't matter. I mean, it's not about the number. But at the same time, it is, because that's what God was using. And it's like, okay, cool. And I'm like, well, Lord, I'm glad, I'm just glad you're with us and you're teaching us this stuff, and we're going through this new class, this whole 101 thing. I think 101 really has to do with a transformation as well. Yeah. It's like, it's the number of our transformation, transitioning out of that into this. See, and that's why God dealt with me about the buying of the costumes. He's like, you're operating off of that. Yeah. Yesterday. You're operating off that. No, I want you to operate in this kind of mindset. In an possibilities. Yes, way. Exactly. Like, well, where's the money going to come from that? You're literally asking me to spend all the money we have. Yeah. Just about. Because if I buy these costumes and the food, we're going to be strapped. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, buy it. It was like he was getting in my face, and he was like, buy it. And so I did. It was $101.60, right? So, all right, here we go. This is the cray-cray to the cray-cray part. I get up this morning, check my PayPal. No joke. You guys, listen to me. There was an offering in my PayPal for $101.60. Come on, somebody. That is crazy. Yeah. Like $101.60. Now listen, why is that crazy and significant? Because there's only 2 groups of people that knew this. There's these people that we've been emailing. I even emailed them. I was like, do you know this person? Because I just need to know what's going on here. And they were like, no, we don't know. It doesn't ring a bell. So obviously they had not been in communication with these people. Yeah. It's like, oh, you know that person, and maybe in conversation you might have said something or whatever. Oh, okay. All right, that makes more sense. All right, I got it. I see how that worked out. Nope. Not an option. And then our family, we're the only one who knew. We're the only ones who knew. Our Costco receipt was $101.60. And I emailed the person, and I was like, why $101.60? Amazed. Praise the Lord for your generosity and the blessing. And I was just like, but why $101.60? They haven't got back to me yet. But if you're watching this video, you know who you are. Yeah. And I'm just like, I was dumbfounded when I woke up, and Michelle, because this is how it works. I get online, I'm going, what? And Michelle's like, what? And
then he doesn't say anything.
And I don't say nothing.
And I'm like,
Because I'm in a stupor.
I'm like, I guess I got to go get up and see what it is that's going on.
So what was God saying through all of that?
I just really feel like he was just saying, like, I know what's in the future. I know every detail to the penny, to the cent.
To the cent. I'm like, 101.60. Are you in what?
Yeah.
It's like, are you serious?
It's just like, we just have to know that God is in every detail.
He is.
He is like, I know exactly how much. I mean, he knows the hairs on our head.
Yeah.
And I think we just forget. We tend to forget that God knows everything. And not only does he know everything, he knows everything in our future. And I think what's been so important is that
I was like, are you serious right now?
Just that.
Don't tell me God ain't into the numbers and using the numbers to communicate a point.
Yeah.
You know, if you're open to it, there's a lot of people out there that aren't open to the baptism of the Holy Spirit and speaking in tongues and prophecy, and they're against it, and they're trying to tell you it's not of God. It's like, don't talk to me about that kind of stuff. It's like, I know I'm having an experience with these things. Mm-hmm. Like, how dumb are you to argue with someone who's actually experiencing something? They're telling you what they're experiencing, and you're going to tell them, oh no, you're not experiencing that, it's the devil. Dude, no. You telling me that is the devil or the flesh, one of the two. It's like, no. If someone is having an experience with God, the best thing you can do is maybe believe them. It's kind of like what the Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. Remember when Diggory grew up and he was an older guy and the kids went through the wardrobe and everything, and they were like, oh, well, our brother, he's crazy. He keeps saying this and that and this and that's happening, and it's not. And Diggory's like, well, does he normally lie? Well, no. Well, how about this question and this question?
It was actually Lucy.
Or Lucy, my brother. I mean, my bad. My brother. But if you guys remember the scene, it's just like, well, then why not believe him? And they're like, her. Thank you. And it's just like, wow. So it's like when you have these kind of experiences, it's like they are real. Not only that, but the Holy Spirit is involved the whole time.
Yeah.
The whole time,
Yeah.
He's the one leading and orchestrating the game.
Yeah.
He's having fun with it.
And I just thought it was just so significant as well because it wasn't something that we needed. It wasn't
Come on
now. Food, you need food.
Yeah.
But it was like God's like, okay, I've been addressing your needs for the last 8 months. And really honestly, it started mid-July when we first came back here. Mm-hmm. I think it was like July, almost a month ago, July like 16th-ish time. And God was just like immediately like, hey, we're going to another level even then, like a phase 2 kind of thing. It was what I got then of just like learning how to just enjoy the gifts of God. That's when really we were getting that Christmas in July. We did a video about all of those things that really
happened.
God gave us. But I feel like even this is just taking it up a notch when it's like, when you feel like, whoa, I don't think we can do this because of things. But God is saying yes to it. It's just, okay, Lord, you're saying yes. But on top of it, it was just a desire. It was simply like, wow, we think that this would really bring joy to our kids, but it wasn't a need. It wasn't a necessity. And God was like, yes, do that. But it's like, I think though God is good because when you listen to him, he leads and directs your steps. Yeah. Because there's been a few other things that it's like, oh, we really would like to get these items. They're not necessarily like a pertinent need right now, but we've asked about it, and God's just kind of like, no, you don't need it right now.
Yeah,
and
don't worry about that right now.
Okay, well, we're not going to get it. It's no big deal.
But then let's go. I really want to get my swimsuit. Yes. And the Lord's like, whatever she asks for, buy it.
Yeah.
And it's like,
yeah, because we
we can't get the stroller. You don't care about that, but you want to get her the swimsuit for the exact same trip to Disney. Okay.
Yeah.
Whatever. God, we're on an adventure off the map.
But it's like God is really
because he knows what's up.
He's just been addressing like that for me was really big because
buying the swimsuit.
Yeah. Very similar situation because
as the costumes.
As the
similar.
costume.
Yeah.
And it was just like I think we even shared about it in a video because I had said like as we were walking over to the mall, I'm like, we can't afford this. And I felt like immediately God was just like, no, don't say that.
Don't you remember what happened at Cracker Barrel?
Yeah.
Don't you wish you could have ate that day?
Exactly.
At Cracker Barrel, you said, I don't have the money. And then someone paid for our whole meal.
Yeah.
And it was like, daggone, I should have ate.
Yeah, basically. And so it's like God is just doing something new and something different. And it's like
very new.
What is our role in it? Well, we just respond to the Spirit.
Listen and obey. That's what I got my shirt on.
Yeah.
Pray, obey, love, repeat.
Yep. and so it's just, I don't know, it's just been really amazing to just be like, all right, Lord, we're just listening to you. And again, it's letting go of really just our own flesh and what is it saying? Even what's the fear that masquerades as wisdom.
That only wants to keep you safe.
Yeah.
You can't be safe in no little raft. That's fine if you're going down the river, but if you're headed out toward the ocean where it can get a little rocky, guys, like you need to get rid of that.
Yeah. And
trade it in for this.
Mm-hmm. And I think it's like, when you do give God the authority to just do in your life what he wants to do, you're going to find situations where it's like he's just going to give you some of the desires of your heart that you weren't even expecting. I mean, our kids, they weren't expecting costumes, yet it fulfilled something in them that was just like, this is amazing. It brought great joy to them.
Yeah.
And it's like...
basically, I have a McLaren P1 in my future. I just haven't caught up to it yet. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
I had to throw a car in there. I'm a car guy. I got to throw that in there.
Yep.
What do our conversations consist of, babe? If you were going to the shelf... You go into the cabinet of our conversation, you open it up. What's available for consumption?
We got cars.
Kingdom.
Cars.
Kingdom.
And then there's like the Kingdom Cars combo.
Relationship. Cars.
Oh, and then
let's get some cars. let's get some cars.
And my shelf, what do we have? We got Kingdom, Vacation.
Yeah, Kingdom, Vacation, Relationships, TLC, HGTV.
Yeah, but we don't really talk about those. Those are just more of like, oh, it's on. If I were to talk about anything.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
It would be Vacation.
If you're going to talk about it, be Vacation and the Lord. That's pretty much it. So when we go to Disney World, you're going to be in heaven. Vacation with Jesus. I'm good. Oh,
that's
man.
So funny.
Yeah, so this is crazy, guys. Like, God is involved. He's just involved, man. That 10160 blew my mind. Yeah. God's saying, so how much did you lose off of that? Where the money, all the worries and concerns, and it's just like, It's like what he said to Moses. Hey, Moses, what's in your hand? Cast it down. And he turned it into a snake. Yeah. It's just like, dude, I'm trying to show you. I want you to focus on what you have in your hand. It's a stick. Okay, I could turn that into anything I want.
Yeah.
I can do anything I want whenever I want. And that's part of the problem that we have in our frustration is that, well, God, why don't you do this then? Well, why doesn't this happen at this time? See, and that's when you start asking the wrong questions, which is what I addressed in one of my other videos yesterday about you're either going to be pulled down or you're going to rise up. And it's just like, you just have to trust in him.
Yeah.
If he's with you, and he is, because Moses is like, Lord, how am I going to do this? How is this going to happen? God's first answer to him was what? I will be with you. That's it. Yeah. No, but he went on to say more. He could have just said, I'll be with you. Who else you need with you? You know what I mean? I'm trying to get into a concert. How am I going to get in? Oh, well, the lead singer, he's going to be with you. Well, you're going to get in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's going to be no issues. Yeah. So anyway, there's more we could talk about that I felt like I was going to talk about. Maybe I could talk about, but I think this is enough for now.
Yeah.
Because it went in a totally different direction than I thought it was going to go.
It did. So that's really what we have for all of you guys today. And again, we really...
God is in the details.
Yeah, God is so in the details.
You hear about that? The devil's in the details. No, he ain't. God is in the details.
Yeah.
You know?
And but we just really want to say a big thank you again to everyone who continues to support us. We're truly just so blessed by
8 months.
Every dime that you give, and just so appreciative of.
Well, and we give praise to God because
we really do. Because
if it wasn't for Him, we would be getting nothing.
Yeah, and just
like,
we just love how God has just worked through His people and has brought us together. And
you people.
Yeah.
What do you mean, you people? I just had to throw that in there. I'm a pop culture Rolodex going on in my brain at all times.
But
movie quotes just start popping out, and then I get on my son for doing the same thing. You hypocrite. No, I'm just kidding.
And on that note.
Oh, Lord, help me.
All right. So, guys, until next time, we just love and appreciate all of you. And we will see you later.
Bye, guys. See ya.